So I'm here with Josh Lamonaca at Menspire Barbershop here in St Albans. Josh is an educator, a co-barbershop owner, and has a range of products. I'm just here today to give Josh an interview to find out where he's going in barbering and where he actually started. So with that said, over to you, Josh. Where exactly did you start in barbering and how did you end up here at Menspire?
Thank you very much, Larry. Welcome to Menspire Salon. My name is Josh Lamonaca and I'm co-director of Menspire Salon here. So I started out when I was 15, just doing my friend's hair, etc. I was heavily inspired by football players such as David Beckham and the likes of Darren Huckabee, and they had really cool hairstyles. And this really highly influenced me to kind of grow a particular hairstyle. And was never able to really achieve this hairstyle because of, you know, barbers at the time when you're that young taking it too short. And I was extremely sort of dissatisfied, if you like, at the time, and it really frustrated me that I couldn't achieve a hairstyle similar to the guys that I, you know, was really inspired by. So it led me to becoming really particular about, you know, my hair and my hairstyle. And so eventually my auntie started doing my hair, which allowed me a little bit more freedom to kind of liaise with her about certain lengths on my hair. You know, I want to keep this long, but I want to take the sides short, and then maybe my fringe going diagonal. So at that time I was able to sort of really have a little bit more freedom of expression, which then eventually led me to really enjoying it and almost having a passion and an obsession with hair as well. And my brother once actually took a razor to his hair and started putting a couple of lines in, you know, like tiger strikes at the time. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. Like, how did you do that? And I was, you know, I pretty much wanted to do the same thing. So I remember taking in a razor to school the following day and just going at it with my friends, you know, just, oh, I want to put a line in like this and this. And eventually I got in trouble for it because, and they actually confiscated the razor off me, which wasn't too good. So eventually it sort of just really, it turned into a bit of a hobby. You know, I started, you know, then clipping my friend's hair because they were saying that their barber cut it too short and etc. So eventually I started just mucking around, if you like, with my friend's hair. And then eventually sort of cutting bits and bobs of my own hair as well. I remember having like some small Wilkinson scissors, some scissors from Wilkinson's as well. And I started cutting hair with these little scissors, and I had a pair of clippers from like, I don't know, Argos or something. And that was it. It started to just nurture. At this time I was only 15 as well. Eventually, I was heavily into football, and so I went to St Albans Football Academy to study for a diploma in sports and exercise science. So I was on that course for about 2 years, and during this time I was still sort of doing friends' hair, and as time went on I was improving, and eventually just said, you know, maybe I want to get a certificate for this and kind of do football and cut hair on the side. Until eventually the passion grew so strong that it kind of outrun football, if you like, because it got to a point where, you know, I wanted to obviously work in a barber's, and the main day was a Saturday, and it was very tough to obviously take that Saturday off. And as I transferred from youth football to men's football, you know, to play football on a Saturday was detrimental to being a barber and having Saturday as your main day. So eventually, when I was 17, I got into a barbering course at Barnfield College in Luton. I was taught by Paul Mills, Craig Bennett and Steve Campbell. And through these guys, you know, it really picked up my skills that I had already had from obviously being self-taught. And these guys were Afro-Caribbean barbers as well, so it kind of really took me through the depths of fading and marking out and outline work, etc. So from there I I did a year's course at Barnfield College. By this time I was about 18 now, and the head of the department, Paul Mills, suggested that I go into women's hair, and at the time I wasn't really interested so much, because I thought, after like 2-3 years of cutting men's hair, I was kind of I got the knack of it and I was good at it, or so I thought. And then I went into women's hair and thought I'll give it a go. It's a year's course, I haven't got nothing to lose. And I started going at it and really, really struggled, really found it difficult. And I will still remember, a certain time period where I was really, really struggling, and the feeling of the struggle only helped motivate me more. And I do recognise that feeling, and even to this day, any feeling of struggling, I appreciate it, and I look at it with a very positive manner. So in this time, I felt like giving up, and it was very difficult because I couldn't understand the concept of blow drying a woman's hair with a hairbrush and a hairdryer, but then making contact with the hair. I just couldn't work it out. I couldn't figure it out. But as time got on, I met a guy from Hob Salons in Mill Hill by the name of Mario, and the head of the department at Barnfield introduced me to him, and I'd asked if I could shadow him once a week at his salon, because he was teaching at Barnfield once a week. So I went over to Mill Hill Hob Salons, and I was shadowing there 1 day a week, whilst at college 3 days a week, and working in the barbers 2 days a week, and then working at home 1 day a week. So I was pretty much flat out 7 days a week, really grafting, and thankfully it's paid off now. At the time I was just embracing everything. So working at or shadowing at Mill Hill Hob Salons, they saw a small portfolio of the men's hair that I had done, and they were really interested. They was like, wow, your men's hair is great, and they said to me, if we teach you women's hair the way that we do it, then would you kindly have a job here? And I was like, well, this is fantastic, because at the college it was almost very diluted because of so many pupils to the teacher ratio, so there wasn't enough concentration. So for me, learning from another hairdressing group was fantastic. So eventually accepted the offer, and I then went to the Hob Academy in Camden, and I was trained by the likes of Akin Konitsi, who's a British Hairdresser of the Year multiple times, Darren Bain, who's also London Hairdresser of the Year, and also heavily influenced by Andrea Martinelli as well, who was an educator at the time. And so through this, it kind of really developed my hairdressing side. So as you can imagine, I've had training from Craig Bennett and Steve Campbell, who are excellent at Afro-Caribbean hair, and then obviously these guys with hairdressing as well. So for me, up until this day, I'm truly grateful for those and that experience, because what I've found now is that it's a combination of hairdressing and barbering, which is evidently becoming popular today in the barbering society.
You seem like an incredibly focused young man who has a great amount of direction. Tell me, is that something that you learned, or is that just the way you was kind of born?
I've always been motivated, and I think given through sport, ideally, that it's placed maybe a great mentality, a great physical well-being, a great mental well-being, and just a general positive outlook. Spiritually as well, I think it's important that you maintain the right balance as well. No doubt it should not be all work. For me, it's important that family time is there. Just activity, whether it's sport or friendly activity. For me, it must be a balance, and to really sort of have that positive outlook. I think it's important. I think it comes down to what do you want. at the end of the day. I think, you know, so many people will obviously, you know, say they want this and they want that, but then there has to be a means behind it. You know, if the hard work is not there, then, you know, the outcome won't be as great.
So in a nutshell, they have to decide what it is that you want
And go for it.
decide whether or not you're going to pay
That's
the price. If you are going to pay the price
That's
in terms of...
There has to be an end goal. And the way to achieve it is just keep moving forward. You know, keep moving forward. If you have to step aside at one point, then do so. But if you're moving backwards, then you're ever so going to be more distant to that end goal.
I'm sure a lot of barbers and hairdressers will find that philosophy there very helpful.
I hope so. I hope so.
And define your styles that you're specialising in right now in January 2016.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So the styles that we're producing at the moment here at Menspire Salon are also, you know, that again, like I said, that combination between classic barbering, precision barbering with soft, voluminous hairdressing. And for us, it's about really combining the two together to create something beautiful. Because men's hair should be beautiful. It doesn't always have to be sharp and precise and clean. Rather, it can also be soft and tapered and natural as well.
And where are you getting your inspiration from right now? Seeing as we're on the kind of current subject.
Cool.
Used to name some names or places.
Okay, sure. So for me, my inspiration generally comes from a lot of hairdressing based work, to be honest. Al-Anon Education for me are, you know, insane. You've got the Zagat Academy, who are always producing such clean precision work and also geometric as well, which I'll always, you know, always endeavour to enjoy, to see and to look at. Anything that's kind of Sassoon based, I think, will always inspire me, just because I know the amount of effort and detail that has to go into the haircut. As for barbering side, I think the Americans are really truly creating a lot of beautiful work as well. I think there's so much emphasis on the tools that are being used that it really has become a really enjoyable thing for us barbers to get to know, to see new products, to see new tools, to try new things. So for me, I think the Americans are really sort of pushing boundaries, etc., and taking barbering to kind of new heights. So if you put the mix of two, again, that's my inspiration.
So talking about inspiration, you're an inspiration to many people, and I see many people hitting you up to pick your brain for your knowledge. You are actually an educator. Tell me about some of the forthcoming events that you have with education and otherwise showcasing.
Okay, sure. So the main event that I'm looking forward to at the moment is no doubt, again, Salon London, which is the sister of Salon International, again with the young feds. Anytime I'm with the young feds is a really enjoyable time, just because there's so much variation between the guys. And then I'm also looking forward to Pro Hair Live Manchester with my team, my artistic team at Menspire. Purely because I think, you know, these are guys that I work with every day, and for me I think they all deserve to be seen by the public. Yeah.
And tell me, what is the direct benefits of being part of the young feds, Adam Salone and Joe Salone?
Okay, so part of being with the young feds, governed by Adam and Joe Sloan, is the exposure. You know, it's the exposure of being able to be seen, if you like, the exposure of being able to inspire others, if you like, and just generally the atmosphere when we're all together as well as a group, it's incredible. You know, that in itself is a benefit at most.
And education, as we know, is a big part of Menspire brand. Go into more detail of what someone could expect if they came to an in-house or you indeed went on the field to visit them.
Okay.
What could they expect from one of your courses?
Sure. So generally with our education, it is it's to help someone's personal progression, not only with their skill set, but also the mindset as well. So it's a whole new concept of training. What we hope that they will achieve to learn is, first and foremost, is to come out their comfort zone and break away from things that they may be doing on a daily basis, and take a whole new approach to their barbering skills. Ideally, our initiative is to attract a lot of hairdressing to their barbering as well, or if they're a hairdresser, then attract a lot of barbering to their hairdressing. What we might expect them to achieve on a course is a new concept of fading, and a step-by-step method of how to layer and how to project hair and how to work with hair growth patterns, etc.
Talking about certain products, actually let's talk about your products. You've got a range of products. Could you tell me a little bit about the products that you've got available, Menspire products?
Sure, no problem.
Physical products?
Okay, so with our Menspire products, we have a very wide range. We have hair care, we have skin care, and then we also have tools as well, and we also have an apparel as well. So we have a clothing line. With our hair care, again, we have 4 main products suitable for all hair types, all hair textures, different hair characteristics. Again, skin, we have face wash, beard oils, everything you could possibly need in your bathroom, basically. Again, clothing line with our MMI and G apparel, Menspire Male Image and Grooming, with our Conscious Star label. Again, just something to add to the brand and as a form of recognition and a prestige, so that our clients and you know, people of interest can take away and feel part of, really. Because when we decided to, you know, work with the name Menspire, ideally we wanted something that everyone could be a part of and be recognised from. Rather, it's not Josh Lamonaca above the door, and it's not Sam Palmer above the door. Rather, it is a brand name that we can all come under and everyone can be a part of and everyone can enjoy, and rather they can associate their work with just a certain name that helps benefit the industry. Again, scissors in barbering is it's a bit of a myth. There's a little bit of lack of guidance, I think, in regards to scissors themselves, as of course with barbers we tend to use a lot of clippers. So I'm going to show you a small range of our scissors. First and foremost, the Precision Master is what we like to call them, which is the black and red scissor. They're a 5.5 inch. Now the beauty of this design and size is that it's so crucial for working hairlines around the ears, necklines, if you're creating small fringes as well for crops, etc. Again, for any particular and detailed layering, it's so important to have something that's really quite minuscule and, you know, quite a particular way of fashion, nimble design as well. And the comfort of these have all been specifically designed as well. If you look closely on this one, you'll notice that the thumb bearer is actually slightly beveled backwards. Okay, so if you was to work with your thumb in its ridge, you can literally work right on the edge. I don't know if you can see from there. You can literally work right on the edge rather than placing your thumb all the way through. So what that does is actually your wrist then becomes strained. So rather you can work on the edge and keep your forearm and your wrist completely straight and still work the scissor. So that's the 5.5 inch right there. So what I've got next is the Menspire 6 inch scissor. Again, so these for me are beautiful for personalising the haircut. Again, it's offset and the thumb bearer is slightly beveled backwards. Again, so you can achieve the same thing as the 5.5s. However, for me, bringing that slightly back, working some point cutting, some channel cutting, some slicing, and removing weight. This has the perfect weight and great comfort as well. And not only that, but it looks insane as well. So that for us is another winner. So the last one. So again, for more barbering, again, scissor over comb. We have the 6.5 silver scissor. Again, the detail in this is quite profound, if you like. We actually have, if you see closer, a small ridge on the thumb. Okay, so not only do you have the thumb ring itself, but you have an extra piece that you can even work your thumb through. So again, you have one option of your scissor over comb. If you want to achieve a certain tight area, again, you have that extra area on the thumb ring, and you can literally work the scissor over comb there. So okay, so again, you have power and then you have accuracy. And again, layering, any form of layering is fantastic. It's got that wide blade, and again, the size of the scissor is just about perfect. You know, you can achieve 7-inch scissors, but if you're going to use 7-inch scissors, for me, my personal opinion, I would say flat tops, any afro work, but a 6.5 scissor for layering is just perfect for anything in that way. All right, so that's our scissor collection. Also, we have a left-hand pair as well, and these left-hand pair, again, a 5.5, similar to the Precision Masters black and red, but in a nice silver stainless steel. Again, detail, crops, everything short. Again, it's got your fingering there, and everything upon that is just detail.
Oh, you've given away your biggest scissor cutting tips already without even coming on the process.
That's it. Well, if you give, then obviously internally you receive. So that's my philosophy. Exactly that. Just one other thing as well. We have the Menspire cutthroat razors as well. Again, a beautiful stainless steel with our Menspire label printed on there. The beauty of this is the weight and the handling. You know, we've all worked with plastic ones, and they'll either snap at the ridge or they're just generally very light. And with these, they've got a great weight, and you know, they really do help glide with, you know, your blade work, etc.
Yeah, because in the cutthroat razor, it's all about the weight, isn't it?
It's about the weight. You know, you want something, you want to feel like you're holding something, rather if you've got something that's too light and it feels kind of nimble. You know, it's just a bit more control, a bit more weight, and no doubt it looks great as well. So again, we've achieved something that, you know, means something to us, no doubt as well. And if it means something to us and we inspire loads of people, then, you know, so be it.
Okay, and just touching on clippers briefly, what is in your clipper toolkit? What's the name?
Okay.
3 clippers.
Okay,
one
cool.
trimmer.
So for me, it's a good question. It's a very good question. Okay, stingers, no doubt. The wall stinger for me is absolutely power. You know, if I want straight skin, or if I want even a number 2, that detachable blade and that power will zing off in 2 seconds. So that for me is number 1. Number 2, the trimmer. I use a ProMate professional trimmer. Fairly unheard of, but something I'm so passionate about that I bought a bag full. I'm sure that they will be widespread fairly soon, and just so crisp, so clean.
This is an American clipper.
This is an American clipper, yeah.
Trimmer, sorry.
Trimmer. You have to try it. Again, I'm literally speechless when I come to speak about it because I love it. I think it's great.
So tell me how that might, how much better or how it may differ from the detailer or the T outliner.
Yeah, so
I mean, you're speaking with like such passion, like it's head and shoulders above these two very popular trimmers.
yeah, I mean, it could be a one-off. I don't know. Who knows? But at the moment, it's definitely one of the best things that I've come across. I've used the detailer. I in fact used the detailer when I, pretty much started out in hairdressing. I moved on to the Andes T outliner, and these are all great products. These are all great brands, and they do provide effective results. And there's no doubt about that. But for me, this ProMate takes it to the next level. The ProMate clipper, or trimmer shall I say, is something that is designed specifically as a trimmer, and they don't have any other clippers. So if you can imagine the amount of research that they must have put into this clipper to really achieve a professional and excellent clipper, or trimmer shall I say again, it really is something to try out. Again, with everyone skeleton or making the skeleton use of the Andes T outliner, this clipper itself is almost born as a skeleton, if you like. You can literally detach the front off of the ProMate clipper, so it already naturally has that as well.
And what's your general, because you've spoken about the detailing trimmer and you've spoken about the stinger, which is primarily a bulk work. What's your kind of general in the middle job?
My general in the middle job, to be honest, I love the wool senior, but I'm going to have to split this because the practicality of the magic cordless clipper, is second to none.
Same blade.
Same blade, yeah. Literally, it's
Same blade.
second to none. To be able to do a 360 in your salon, talk to someone else, and then eventually end up without the wire all around your body, second to none. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Especially when they're full charge as well. That's nice. That's nice. But as a corded one, wool senior, for me at the moment, is the winner. But again, I'm a barber. I'm always open, or a hairdresser, barber, whatever you want to call it. I'm open to change. I'm open to new things, new products coming on the market. So again, always open.
And tell me, Josh, what's next for Menspire?
So
Next big thing.
probably shouldn't expose it, but seeing as you asked, for us, international levels, to be honest. Something that we want to break out from the UK and into the States, hopefully, and into Australia, and again Europe as well. For us, this is the main goal. So again, we will be moving forward, if not sideways, towards that. I think with the UK it's great, but I think we want to go a little bit further afield and just try to not globally dominate. I wouldn't put that. I would rather say, just inspire, just anywhere and everything possible.
Is there some work going on in the background to achieve this end?
There is, yeah. There's work going on. There's work going on. Yeah.
Josh, thank you very much for this interview. I'm sure people are going to find this most helpful. I mean, you've given away a lot of tips with the scissors to start, and plus, your whole mindset. I'm sure people can feed off of this and benefit. So, I salute you for that, and thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much as well. And again, hopefully we'll see you soon.